Okay, so today you will see the day right here. Okay, let's see. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Let's see, I'm going to maximize this. Okay, this is our topic for today. Okay, it's approximation. And what is that? In which cases we use this? We use rounding, okay, when we want to estimate. So there is going to be something, I can set maybe a jar of candies, and I can see, oh, maybe the amount that the candies are inside maybe can be 20 or can be 25, right? So you are estimating the amount for that. So let's see. That is to have an idea. Later on, we're going to have more information about. Then we use rounding when you don't need an exact number, okay? When you don't need the right exact number that they are asking. So it's an estimating, approximation, right?
Miss Carmen, do we copy this in our notebook?
Yeah, well, we don't have too much time now. I'm going to share the PowerPoint to the parents, and then, yes, after the class or in the afternoon, you can copy the concepts. Or if you want
Teacher, we need to copy this right now.
in the notebooks, in your notebooks.
Right now, we need to copy this.
Yeah, okay. If you prefer to do it now, do it with me, so.
Miss Carmen, do we have to copy this now? Can we copy this now?
Yeah, if you want to, you can copy now. So I'm going to explain you.
Okay.
And you can copy right up. So the topic again for this, you are going to be working on your notebook, math notebook. And the topic for today is approximation. So in which cases, again, in which cases we are going to use this? We use rounding when we want to estimate. For example, I can say, oh, how many pages in my blog I have it? Or maybe I can set 50 or 40 pages. We don't know. It's not an exact number. And we use rounding when you don't need an exact number. So in that cases, we call this estimation, estimated. We estimate, okay. I'm going to give you some time so you can copy this. Emmanuel, you need to copy that.
What? Okay.
I'm going to pass to the next slide, okay?
No. No.
Miss Carmen, I finish.
Thank you, Lucas.
I finished too.
Finish too.
Okay, for the ones who just joined to us, like Ariana, Gabriel Cueto, we are copying the first slide that it's the concept. It's the main concept of approximation, okay? So
What day we are?
They just join us.
13.
Okay, guys, let's continue with. Then we are going to work on this. We are going to use something like this line that you see, because when we manage better this, you can do it quickly and mentally, but depends if you need to do it to the nearest 100 or nearest 10, it depends. But first of all, we are going to use this, and I'm going to show you this is a timeline. Okay, and always to the right side, I'm showing you right there, to the right side, we are going to write the greater number, okay? And then in the middle, I'm going to have my middle point, the benchmark, we call that. So how can we work on this? We are going to use a number line like this one, okay? And remember, to the right side, okay, to my right side, I'm going to write the greater number. You also need to copy this because this part is very important for you, because it's the way that we are going to be working on with the different kinds of exercises that we are going to do.
Teacher, we need to copy.
Yes, yes. Yeah, this part, yeah, this part. Good morning, Pablo. We are copying this in your notebook, please.
Miss, what do we have to do? What page?
Page, we are not in any page. We are in our notebooks. We are
Copy that?
copying, see, we are copying this in our notebooks. Good morning, Mia. You need to copy this in your notebook, please. The topic for this is approximation with double P. Okay, so how we are going to use this? We are going to put our amounts on this number line. And in the middle, we are going to try to put the middle of the number. For example, if I said, on my book, in my book can be for example, 432 pages. Okay, I'm going to write on one side 400 and to the other side 500. Okay, and in the middle I'm going to write my benchmark. It's going to be half of that. Okay, half of that will be 450. Okay, so in that way, it's the way that we are going to be working on. Okay, let's continue.
No, teacher, I don't finish.
Okay. Don't scream, don't yell, talk.
Miss Carmen, do we write the 400 and the 450 and the 500?
Yeah, if you
We
want
write the
to,
two in the...
yeah, if you want to, you can write it out because that gives you an idea.
Okay.
Emmanuel, did you finish?
Yes, I finished.
Okay.
I don't finish. I am working.
I'm still working, you need to say. Okay.
Okay, now we finish.
Thank you. Me is still copying, so let's give some time.
Okay, finished.
Okay. Luca de Gregory, you raise your hand.
Finished.
Thank you. Okay, let's go on.
I didn't finish. I didn't finish. Can you give me 1 minute?
1 minute is too much. 30 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, guys, let's go ahead. So we need to keep in mind that approximations, we are going to relate it with our table of value, right? Remember that we were working thousands, hundreds, tens, ones,
Yes.
some millions, right? So I just make a short table value here. It's very important to keep in mind the table value we were studying, okay? For example, this is an amount that I picked up, 487, right? And today we are going to learn how to estimate. And the other signal that we need to work on this is those two lines with a curve, okay? So it's important for you not to copy everything on this slide, but you need to copy estimate and the two lines, please. Okay, so
We
you
need to copy all
just
this.
need to copy this side that I'm showing you. Estimate and the two lines, because that is the way that we are going to represent that we are making approximation.
So we only copy estimate. We
Yes.
only copy.
Yes, estimate. So remember that when we are going to be working on approximations, we are going to check out the amount and see, for example, this 487, it's close more for 400 or for 500. Who can tell me? If I say
500.
500, yeah. 500 if we said to the nearest 100. But what about if I said to the nearest 10?
400.
If I said to the nearest 10, that means that I'm going to pick up this side and this. What will be the nearest 10 on this one? Do you know?
90.
That's right. Who said that? Say your name.
Casiel.
Okay, good job, Hasiel. In this case, it's going to be, if I ask for the nearest 10, that means that in my table right here, I'm going to work on ones and tens. Oh, here. So the nearest 10 is going to be 400, still 90, because it's my nearest 10. But if I said, or I ask, you need to estimate this number to the nearest 100, okay, the figure, it's different because I need to work on this. So the nearest 100 that someone says, it's 500, okay? And I need to work with this also, okay? So let's continue. Then here I want to show you an example, okay? It's Peter. Here is my friend Peter has 487 marbles, right? How can I round? How can I round these amounts? Well, we will see. How can we estimate how many marbles Peter has? Okay, I can say, okay, Alvaro, what do you think? How many marbles Peter has? Alvaro, what is your approximation?
212.
Okay, he said, Mrs. Carmen, 200.
No, 223.
Okay, 223, wow. Jeremy, how many marbles do you think that Peter has in this jar? Jeremy?
Yes.
I'm asking you, can you estimate how many marbles Peter has in this jar?
Mm,
Tell me a number. How many marbles do you think that he has in the jar?
uh,
106,
500. I don't know.
500. You don't know. Okay, that is something that I mentioned before, that we don't need an exact number, because he said can be, if not. Okay, so let's go on. Okay, right here, it's the way that we are going to be working on our number line. Okay, for example, we said, okay, can be 487. Okay, as I told you, I'm going to use my 400 in this case, and then 500, okay? My greater number to the other side, to the right side. And remember, the main point, my benchmark, is right here. This is my benchmark, okay? 450. Then if you count, I'm going to go in jumping 10, 10, 10, plus 10, plus 10. Okay, 450, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. If you see on my benchmark, okay, 487 is closer to my 500. If my amount is after my middle point, my bench point, that means that I'm going to get closer to the right size. So the amount is 487. It's more than 450. That means that it's okay if I say that in that jar of marbles, there are about 500 marbles, okay? It's okay if we say that. Yeah, somebody's talking and please tell him to stop. Why do we say that? Because we are rounding the amount to the nearest hundred, okay? In this case, I ask for the nearest hundred. So that is why I mentioned 500, okay? We're going to watch a video to see some good examples, okay? So please pay attention on this. Stop chatting, okay? Stop chatting each other, and we will see right here.
Math Coach presents rounding to the nearest hundred. We use rounding when we want to estimate. Rounding gives us numbers that are easy to use, like 100, 200, 300, and so on. Rounding numbers help you solve everyday problems where you don't need an exact answer. That's called an estimate. Rounding might look hard, but hey, guess what? If you know how to put numbers in order and can skip count by hundreds, you can learn to round any number to the nearest hundred with ease. Here are some useful things to know. You can show any number on a number line. Numbers to the right have a greater value than numbers to the left. The nearest hundred on either side of our number is a useful benchmark. And the midpoint is the number that is halfway between two benchmarks. If the number you want to round is less than the midpoint, round down. If the number you are rounding is at the midpoint or greater than the midpoint, round up. You can round any number to the nearest hundred in 4 easy steps. Let's see how. Let's round 527 to the nearest hundred. Step 1. Figure out what benchmarks to use. To the nearest 100 tells you to choose the 100 before 527 and the 100 after 527. 500 is the lower benchmark and 600 is the higher benchmark. Now you can set up a number line and mark your benchmarks. Step 2. Find the midpoint between 500 and 600. That's the number that is exactly in the middle. The midpoint is 550. Step 3. Now locate 527 on the number line. 527 is less than 550. So now you're ready for step 4. You can round. 527 is closer to 500 than 600. So to the nearest 100, 527 rounds down to 500. Sometimes the nearest 100 is 0. Let's round 49 to the nearest 100. The benchmarks are 0 and 100. The midpoint is 50. 49 is less than 50. So to the nearest 100, 49 rounds down to 0. Sometimes the nearest 100 is 1,000. Look at 975. The benchmarks are 900 and 1,000. The midpoint is 950. 975 is greater than 950. So to the nearest 100, 975 rounds to 1,000.
Okay, guys, so as we see in the video, right, it's very clear how we are going to be working on this. So it depends if is the instruction asks you for 100 or for nearest 100 or nearest 10 or nearest 1,000. It depends the amount also. And again, it's the third time that I said stop chatting, okay? And you're still doing it.
Mrs. Carmen.
Stop, be quiet. If you are going to chat, I'm not going to do any more Zoom, really. Because you need to focus, you need to concentrate. And I can see your chat. I can see that you are chatting. And that is not okay. If you have a question at the end, I'm going to let you ask me, okay? So please, be considerate. Yes, who wants to talk?
Me. I don't know why, but I'm not putting so I can see the chattings. But there, I have like 92% that has chat, and I cannot hear the class because it says
Okay,
on the
75 chats. People that are different.
No, 92 chats. 92.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to focus on that because I just have 10 more minutes left, okay? So I would like to explain this side. Let's see, right here I have my number line, as I told you. I explained this before. And here it's my table value, okay? So I need to recognize my ones place, my tens place, and hundreds place. So in this amount, I have 80, it's more than 50, right? That is another reason why I'm putting my nearest 100, 500. As we saw in the first exercise, we need to estimate to the nearest 100, okay? So in this case, this is the way, okay? Keep an eye on here, on this. We are going to estimate this way, right? But remember, the nearest 100, we use the two lines, the two curved lines. We use the approximation sign to show rounding of numbers, okay? I can say, okay, Peter has 487 marbles. Okay, let's round this. Let's round this amount. Okay, 500. Okay. And here is another example. Let's do some examples together. It says there are 456 pages in a book, right? Round the number of pages to the nearest 100. Eileen, can you help me doing this, please? Eileen, here is another example. It's very close to the, like the marble, but in this case, I have a book. And it says there are 456 pages in a book. Round the number of pages to the nearest 100. Eileen, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, can you help me?
Yes.
Okay, so which one can be the amount? To the nearest 100, remember.
Yes.
Ones, tens, hundreds, right? So my estimation for this, for the nearest 100, can be, who would like to help? Sebastian.
I think that is the answer is 5.
What?
No.
To the nearest 100, it's okay.
500.
500, because I said to the nearest 100. Okay, the amount for pages on this book is 456, but the nearest 100 is 500. Okay, let's go on the next one. Right here, it's the way how we need to estimate this, okay? This is the right way. Okay. This is the same example, okay, the same one, but remember, there are 456 pages in a book. Round the number of pages to the nearest 10, okay? 10. So in this case, we are not working with nearest 100, it's not nearest 10. In this case, my approximation will be this, nearest 10, 456. Estimate 460 because it's the nearest 10. Ones, tens, 100, tens, this one. Okay, let's see if you can round each number to the nearest 10. The first one. I'm going to ask somebody if you pay attention on this. Okay, Emmanuel, round each number to the nearest thing, letter A, 72.
80.
Remember, my benchmark should be 75, but it's less.
I know.
Emmanuel.
I know.
Mrs. Carmen.
Yes.
I know.
Okay, Jeremy, tell me the answer.
72?
A, sí, 72. What is the estimation for that?
I know.
Okay,
Mrs. Carmen.
be quiet and raise your hand. Let's see. Luis Alejandro.
It's 70.
Okay, it's 70. That's right. Thank you, Luis Alejandro. Letter B. Okay, let's see. Jaciel.
50.
Okay. Say it again. Nearest 10, Jaciel.
50.
50. Remember.
I know, teacher. I know.
Nearest 10. Okay,
I know. Teacher, I know.
Micaela. Letter B. Lunita, which one can be?
I know.
655 to the nearest 10.
I know.
Okay, Ariana.
Can you repeat the question?
600.
I know.
Diana,
Teacher, I cannot teach you very well because everybody is in a little bit sound.
because they want to participate. Rafaela, letter B.
Letter B, 660.
That's right. Good job. 660. Okay, let's see. Andres, Victor Andres. 1,289. But remember, nearest 10.
I know.
Victor Andres?
I know.
1,190.
That's right. 1,290 because it's my nearest 10. It's not the nearest 1,000 also. Okay, let's do for the exercise number 2. Round each number to the nearest 100 now.
I know.
Okay, Gabriel Cueto.
I know.
340. No, 300.
300, that's right. Okay, guys, we only have 1 minute. And after this, you need to copy this. I'm going to send the PowerPoint, okay?
This one, we need to copy.
Not right now. I'm going to send it. I'm going to send it by CNET and for your MCS Lima. And right here for the warriors, let's see which ones are. It says solve the following approximations, okay, in your notebook. Round each number for the nearest 100. Okay, this is an exercise that you need to do it in your notebook. Okay, so guys, it's time to say goodbye, but in 5 more minutes, we are going to go back for communication, okay? So, have your staff ready for communication class, and I'm going to be sending this to your parents by CNET, okay? See you.
Okay. Bye.
See you.